Hi, good morning everybody, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Andy Dio, and I'm your host, and with me is Anthony Rodriguez, and we'll be talking about software licensing option today from Autodesk. Anthony?
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, welcome everybody. I appreciate everyone joining today. Some of you may have attended, but over the last year we started talking about Autodesk's transition to a subscription license model. We've had about 5, maybe 6 of these events over the last 6 months and have talked to hundreds of our customers about this change. We've made it past the first step in the change, which began on February 1st of this year. And we'll talk about going forward what the next important date is in the change, and looking forward to giving all of you a good solid feel of what your options are. And really will depend on a variety of scenarios, how many users you have, the different license types you have, and the options available from Autodesk today. So I encourage everyone to stay on for the entire session. A lot of value came from attendees asking questions at the end of our session. Andy and I will be sure to answer all the questions live with the audience that come in. So again, I look forward to sharing this with you and hearing any questions and clarifying them for you at the end. So we'll go ahead and get started. And really the first thing I want to share with you is kind of how we'll walk through the information. We've talked about the change to subscription. We want to make sure that you're clear on what your next steps can be and what your options are. And then again, we'll have the Q&A at the very end of the session. So first, what's happening and what began happening on February 1st is Autodesk transition to a subscription-only model. And that, I'll explain what that means is in the past, and most of you have what is considered a perpetual license. A perpetual license is a license of software that you acquire. You own the rights to use the software for your life, for the life of the software, and you have an option to purchase a maintenance plan. Okay, and that maintenance plan will keep that license updated. Autodesk will be transitioning to a different model, which is subscription only, and no longer give you the ability to purchase a perpetual type license. The first thing I want to make sure everyone understands is that that those of you, and the majority of you on this line, are maintenance subscription or maintenance plan customers. You have perpetual licenses, you have them on subscription, and those licenses, as long as you continue to renew your maintenance plan at the time of renewal or before the renewal date, there will not be any change to you. Okay, so some of you on this line I see have legacy software that's not on subscription mixed with some current software, perpetual licenses with a maintenance subscription or maintenance plan. And as long as you continue to keep those licenses that are on subscription under your maintenance plan renewed on time, you'll see no difference in either the use or how your license functions as you go forward. And that's the first thing I want to clarify. Your maintenance plan will not change as we go forward. You will just want to make sure you continue to keep that updated. Now, as Autodesk transitions to a subscription model, that subscription model really will give you a variety of benefits. And some of you may have seen Autodesk has began releasing software in a more frequent manner. So rather than waiting for a big annual release, as an example, where a lot of features and improvements are rolled out to the user base, which has in the past caused almost an event in terms of upgrading and checking hardware, we'll start to see a more frequent release cycle, maybe quarterly, monthly, maybe releases and updates not even on a particular schedule. Small improvements that you can grasp, you can start putting in place right away rather than waiting for a big release. I'm sure all of us have subscribed in some form or another, especially on our cell phones with different apps. And as you can imagine, by having a subscription model, there'll be more personalization. Each user will have their own login, and the system will start to get to know who you are, what tools you like to use, and give you a more personal feel. Subscription also gives you a different cost of acquiring licenses. Okay, it's a lower cost upfront, making it easy to ramp up and down licensing based on your workforce needs. So as an example, if you win a project that may only last a year, you can acquire licenses through a subscription program that only run for a year, and therefore you're only paying for that year period. You're not buying a perpetual license going forward, which requires a heavier upfront cost. So there's a variety of benefits that you'll learn as we go through this and as you start talking with people on our team as you go forward. Today, as of right now, you really have 4 different options, and these are the options listed for subscription. Okay, the first options up on top are really the options that will continue to exist. Okay, these are the term licenses, the subscription licenses. Again, what that means is you basically are using what you pay for. If you pay for use for 3 years, you have the ability to use that software for that period of time, and when you no longer pay your subscription, that software is not available to log in and use. And in a subscription format, you have a few options. You have an option for an individual user, which is the first option. You have the ability to buy a subscription in a multi-user format. So if you want to buy a license under subscription, one license, and share that with maybe 3 part-time users, the system will monitor and only allow 1 user at a time, but the software would be available to all 3 users. And then the final subscription option is a cloud subscription, and this exists for some of the newer technology that's out there, tools like BIM 360, PLM 360, collaboration for Revit, tools that actually run in the cloud, data is stored in the cloud, and these tools require very minimal, if not any, software installed on your local machine, but allow you to log in over the web and interact with software, share information with customers. Buzzsaw would be another example that some of you may have or have seen. So those will be the subscription options that continue to exist as we go forward. Today, there is still the ability to acquire perpetual licenses under maintenance subscription and a maintenance plan for suite products. Okay, and the benefit of a maintenance plan, again, is that you acquire a perpetual license, and really you own the rights to use that software for as long as it will run on the hardware you're running it on. Maintenance plan gives you the ability to you get some support as part of the maintenance plan. The maintenance plan that you continue to renew keeps that software current, so as new updates, new releases become available, as long as you continue to pay the maintenance plan fee, you'll get access to those updates and can use them as and when necessary. There's a variety of benefits by being on a maintenance plan in terms of just where you can use your licensing. Things like being able to check out a license for home use and be able to practice at home. The ability to use previous versions of software. So even though you may be using 2016, it gives you the ability to use past releases of software to support a project or a customer that might need it. So there's a variety of benefits. Again, reach out to us, reach out to my team if you have any questions on the benefits of any of these subscription options, and we'd be happy to share them with you. But again, I want to make clear, and I'll add one more time towards the end of the presentation, that a maintenance plan option only exists for suite products today. Okay, as of February 1st, individual products like AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, individual products are no longer available for purchase in a perpetual format with a maintenance plan. The only option you have today is to acquire suites under this license model. The next option is really the subscription option, which is the go-forward licensing that all of us will benefit from. And subscription, again, gives you the ability to log in. It understands users. It gives you support online. So if you have questions, you can email Autodesk directly. You can get answers from those questions. I believe the time frame is about a 24-hour response time. But really it is a lower cost of entry. So for acquiring licenses, you pay a smaller fee up front. And as long as you continue to keep that software paid for, you continue to use it. It also allows your finance group to use more flexible options in terms of how they pay for software and how they account for software, I should say, in their accounting system. So if you're interested in subscription, I'd recommend you also involve your finance group because they may be interested for subscription from strictly a accounting standpoint. And again, we'd be happy to share more information there, but I'm sure your finance groups would understand. And then the last option is a cloud subscription, which again exists for some of the newer products that run in the cloud and give you the option to sign in, share information with a larger team. And again, some examples of the software is Collaboration for Revit, Buzzsaw, PLM 360, and BIM 360. So really, now that we've shared a lot of the different licensing models that exist today, as a customer, what do we do, and how do I decide what's right for me? And what we've built is kind of questions you can ask yourself. And the first is, what products really are going to suit what I need as a customer? Okay, do I need a suite product because I use a variety of tools? Okay, so if I have one user that uses a variety of products, not just one product, but a variety. As an example, I use Inventor, but I also use AutoCAD on occasion and AutoCAD Electrical. Then a suite would be better for that user. If I'm a user that maybe uses Civil 3D, AutoCAD, and maybe I want to also implement Vault, again, a suite would be right for you because Vault's included in all the suite products. But if I'm a user who only uses AutoCAD as an example, or only uses AutoCAD LT, then I only want to purchase an individual product. I don't need access to additional software. That's really the first question you want to ask yourself. And then the second question is, how do I want to buy this? And again, this question is relevant today. But going forward, beginning, and we'll share this date again, August 1st, it will no longer be relevant. Subscription will be the only option. But today I can ask myself, if I'm going to use a suite, do I want to buy the license, own the rights to use this software for the life of the software, and add a maintenance plan to keep it updated and keep it current, and maintenance plan will not change as long as I keep it current? Or do I want to move to this newer model, which is a subscription model? And again, that question may be best asked to your finance groups, your controller, the accounting group that you have, because this will have implication on how they account for the investment that you make in the software. And then the other question would be, who's going to use the software? Okay, do I have full-time users that are using it more than 60% of the time? If it's more than 60% of the time, then I probably want to get them their own software and not share it. Or do I have multiple part-time users, in which case I can look at how many licenses will satisfy a group of users that are part-time. Okay, and that multi-user option exists for both the maintenance plan and subscription. Okay, so either choice there, you still want to ask this question. If I'm a larger enterprise customer, Autodesk does have licensing for global customers. So if I have offices in China and maybe the UK and the US, with the time zone differences, I may be able to take advantage of acquiring a extra territory right or a license model that allows me to share globally so that I can benefit from those time zone advantages. While I'm sleeping here in the US, people outside the US may be working and vice versa. So I require fewer licenses to support my user base, and I simply pay an additional fee to have that access, and can then monitor it through my server that supplies the licensing. And then the last thing is, how long do I need these licenses? Do I expect to have these users on staff for a long period of time, more than a year? It may make sense to acquire what you need in a perpetual format today. Or do I have more of a elastic workforce where I'm scaling up and down based on projects we get? Then that may make better sense for you to acquire subscription licenses, so you only pay for what you're actually using. Now, the next important date is going to be August 1st. Beginning August 1st, you will no longer have the ability to purchase perpetual licenses with a maintenance plan. So this maintenance option on the bottom will no longer exist. The only option beyond that date will be to acquire licenses in a subscription format, subscription with multi-user, or the cloud subscription option for some of the newer products that exist. These will be all the options, like I just discussed, after August 1st. So really, you want to ask yourself, how do I plan for this? And Autodesk has, we went through some questions that you can ask yourself, and we're going to stay on to answer questions that any of you have after this session. But a couple other things to consider that I've seen a lot of our customers already take advantage of is, if subscription seems like the right option for you, Autodesk has an extremely aggressive offer that will allow you to bring old legacy software that's no longer on subscription current in the subscription model. Okay, and what they're allowing you to do is trade in that old software and pay for 1 year of software, and you'll end up getting 3 years worth of use of that software. Okay, so there's great value in that. If you're considering going to the subscription model and you have old licenses, you definitely want to take advantage of this. If you are not sure whether or not you have older licenses that qualify, then I encourage you to reach out to us, call our team. We'll be able to run reports with Autodesk to look at the history of licensing your company's acquired. A lot of times, companies, it's normal, don't have a good record of this, or you may be an IT person on this call. I see a couple of you IT roles on the call, but maybe you have some engineers that with a credit card purchase some AutoCAD LT, purchase some AutoCAD. Those are smaller investments. We see it all the time, and you're not aware of those licenses. Again, I encourage you to reach out to us. We can help you track down all the licensing your company owns, so that you can then plan and make sure you use that old licensing for a credit to bring it current and get on subscription. I also encourage you to look out and look forward for the next 6 months, and if you're considering hiring additional users, you'll definitely want to take advantage of either the offer to bring that legacy software current or add additional licenses of software. There are options to, remember, continue to acquire perpetual licenses with a maintenance plan. Okay, you have until August 1st to do that. If that option sounds like it makes the most sense for you, you want to acquire those licenses now. If you need additional users of software, again, let's take advantage of the promotions Autodesk has and bring those, add additional licenses or bring those old licenses current for the 70% discount that exists. And again, I encourage you to reach out to our team for help with that. There's a lot of information we've been sharing here, and that's what our team's here for, to work with you to make sure that you understand the options and then really give you a recommendation on what would be right going forward based on the information that we have today. So with that, I would like to turn it back over to Andy, and we're going to start the question and answer. If you have any questions, again, make sure you type those questions in, and we're going to stay on as long as it takes to make sure all the questions are answered. Thank you all again for attending, and we'll go ahead and start the Q&A now.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So at this point, please type in your questions in the Q&A panel, and we'll stay here and address all the questions. We had a couple of questions that came in, Anthony, during your presentation. One question that came in was, what if you currently have a perpetual license off maintenance? What are your options?
Okay, so if you have a perpetual license off of maintenance today, so you no longer have it on the maintenance plan, your options, first off, if you have a perpetual license, the advantage of that is you can continue to use that license as long as it runs, okay? As long as, it runs on your hardware. If you get a new computer, you can install it on that hardware. We can help you with that. But at some point, operating system or something may not support that old software. As long as you can figure out how to install it and run it, you have the rights to use that for the life of the software. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if that software is in between a 2005 release and a 2015 release, okay, 2016 is a current release, so 2015 release, you have the ability to trade that old software in. Okay, so you give us a serial number, we verify that it's a valid serial number assigned to your company, and you trade that software in and you get the ability to move to the subscription model, which will bring you current, and you pay for 1 year of software, and you get 3 years. That's what the promotion that exists today. You pay for 1 year, you end up getting 3 years. It's about a 70% discount on that subscription option. If you prefer to keep that license as a perpetual license, okay, you want to bring it current, but you prefer to keep it as a perpetual license, your option would be to acquire a suite product that exists today and add a maintenance plan. Okay, and depending on your role in the company, the industry you're in, there are a variety of suites that exist. Again, call us. Our team can help advise you on what the right suite for you would be, and you can acquire a suite product and get current through that option that exists until the end of July. Okay, so you have to do this before the end of July if that option makes sense, and acquire a maintenance plan. And then as long as you keep your maintenance plan current, you'll continue to have the latest release of software.
Okay, thanks, Anthony. Another question that came in, and we actually hear this a lot. Some customers have heard that perpetual license maintenance prices are going up as much as 10% every year in the future. Have we heard anything? What's the official Autodesk position on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, first off, the majority of our customers are on maintenance plan today. Okay, so the majority of customers are on that plan. The majority of customers renew that plan. I believe our customer renewal is about 95% or so. So most customers stay on that once they acquire it. I don't have information on what prices will be a year from now, as you can imagine. But what I can tell you is that prices have not gone down, and I have not seen any significant price increases over the last 10 years. Prices have gradually increased every few years, but I haven't seen anything significant. The most I've seen is a 10% increase, which 10% is a lot, but that's really what I've seen, and all I can talk about is what we've seen in the past. Customers have had some. That's been a big question for a lot of our customers. And what some customers have done is looked at their maintenance plan contract, and work with our subscription team to extend that contract out as long as they could. Okay, so what you can do, just so everyone's aware, is you can lock in your subscription contract for up to 3 years, and that really will lock in the current rate that exists. And that's really the safest thing you can do right now, Andy, is really lock in for that period of time, and you'll know you're covered at the current rate that exists. And if you have questions on how to do that, again, I encourage you to reach out to our team, and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, and I want to interject as well with the new subscription model moving forward. If you have maintenance subscription active, make sure you renew those on time. In the past, there's been a grace period that Autodesk has allowed. If you late, up to 365 days, you're all good. But moving forward, please make sure that you keep your maintenance subscription renewal on time. So renew early and on time. Do not let it expire, because once it does, then that option is no longer available to you. So please keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a great point. And our team, Alex and Joe and Nicole and her group, I'm sure many of you have talked to them, do a great job reaching out proactively. But again, everyone's busy, so make sure you pay attention to that and get your subscription renewed on time, or just extend it for a long period of time, and you lock in the rate and you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Another question that came in is, are simulation CFD Advanced, simulation mechanical available under the subscription plans, and what are the terms available? Are they available monthly, quarterly?
Yeah, no, great question. So the simulation product line is, there's a variety of products in that product line, first off. A lot of those products came through some acquisitions that Autodesk made, so the licensing for those products vary big depending on the type of license you own. But yes, there's definitely a subscription option. Okay, all the licenses in the simulation product line exist in a perpetual format with a maintenance plan. So you want to make sure, again, you look at that maintenance plan. If you're concerned about price increase, or you just want to take care of it so you don't have to worry about it, you can extend those out for up to 3 years, and our team can help you with that. There are a handful of products in the simulation product line that do exist in a subscription-only format today. Okay, those options allow you to acquire in a quarterly term, as an example, in a shorter term. So if you're looking for just simulation mechanical for mechanical stress, there's a CFD option that exists in a shorter term as well. But again, that's a longer subject. We've actually been talking about having a session just for our simulation customers, because those products, there's so many of them, and the licensing varies depending on what you have. So I encourage you to reach out just to make sure that your question's answered. But really the answer is yes, all the products have the ability to add subscription, and then there are some that allow you to add it in a quarterly format.
Excellent. And Daniel, one of our team members will follow up with you shortly after this webcast just to answer your specific needs as well.
That's great.
Another question that came in actually regarding the financing that you mentioned. What are the, I know that the terms are, 12 months, 0% financing. You don't pay for the first 120 days. But are there any minimum, maximums? What can you finance with that?
Yeah, great question. The minimum purchase is $5,000. Okay, so depending on what you're buying, I mean, there should be, that is a minimum. Anything you purchase from KETIV can be rolled into the financing. So let's say you want to add a new subscription, trade in a product, buy a subscription license to get current, and maybe brush up on your skills and come to some training. Maybe you're even looking at putting in Vault. All of those options can be financed. So the training class, any consulting, any mentoring that we might provide and you may benefit from can all be rolled into the finance option that exists. Our finance partner is U.S. Bank. The application process is real simple. You simply, once we decide on what you want to acquire, we'll send that proposal over to U.S. Bank. We usually have an approval within 24 hours at the most. It's usually a matter of an hour or two. And then it's a simple 2-3 page document that you sign. We had a lot of customers take advantage of that last quarter and acquire licenses for hires they were going to make over this next year. So not having a payment for 4 months allows you to look out for their plan acquire things now at the current rates, knowing that you're going to hire people later on.
Okay. I think that's all the questions we have. Back to you for wrap-up.
Yeah, great. I want to just thank everyone for joining again. It's always a pleasure to share this information with you. I know there's a lot of information. It raises a lot of questions, and I know all the customers we work with have you're unique. You have different license needs. You have different user bases, different locations. Some of you are small. Some of you are large. I encourage you to reach out to our team. That's what we're here for. We want to help. We want to provide you the option that we think is best for you. So I look forward to hearing from all of you soon. Call me anytime. Call our team, and we look forward to helping you. Thank you again.
I just have one last question that just came.
Okay, no problem.
Craig asks, why should he goes through KETIV versus going through Autodesk directly for financing?
Okay. Oh, for financing?
Or
yeah,
go through KETIV versus Autodesk directly?
Yeah, good question. So Autodesk, you can definitely acquire software, and you have been able to acquire software from Autodesk directly for years now, for a long time. There are several advantages in working with KETIV. First off, I want to make sure that everyone on this call knows our area of focus. Okay, our area of focus is really working with customers who make a product, either in a manufacturing industry or in an industrial, architecture, engineering industry. So if you're creating plants or more industrial products like that, that's really where our team focuses on and what we've built. We have a team of application engineers that have come from those industries to support our customers. And most customers choose to purchase from KETIV really because of that, because of our knowledge with the product, because of our knowledge in the industry, and because of the support and availability we have to help you ensure that you adopt the product. Things like pricing typically are more attractive when you purchase from KETIV. And then you also get access to a variety of other events that we do for our customers. As an example, all of our manufacturing customers, and we have about, 800, 900 subscribers now to a program we rolled out 6 months ago called Autodesk Virtual Academy. This is available to all of our customers for simply acquiring software from KETIV. It's available to everyone. And this gives you the ability to subscribe, and every Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning, you learn something in the product design suite, which is a tool most of our manufacturing customers use. We have a similar event for our AEC customers, which is a Thursday lunch and learn.
Wednesday lunch.
I'm sorry, Wednesday lunch and learn. And these sessions, again, are not demonstrating new software or anything. They're really focused on teaching you tools and features in the products you already own on a regular basis. So every week you learn something on a regular basis so that you can, when you're finished with those calls, you can go back and use the tools that you learned. So we're helping our customers really get better every week, and I encourage all of you to subscribe to those events and make sure that you attend. That's just part of working with KETIV. And those are a couple examples. If you want to talk more about that, again, definitely give us a call, and we'd be happy to talk to you.
Great, Anthony. And that was the last question. So
okay, great.
Thanks for answering.
Well, I'm sure we'll be doing more of these. So if you missed it or you think that you'd like somebody else to have seen this in your organization, Andy will have the session recorded. We'll be doing more of these events over the next couple of months as we get closer to the August time frame when Perpetual is no longer available. Again, don't wait. Call us now, even if it's just to make sure we have a plan, that you know the options that exist, know what's right for you, and are prepared to as we go forward into this licensing change. Thank you again for attending, and we'll talk to everyone soon.